And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the Houston Texans. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Caught here by Griffin. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a handoff to Miller. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw is Watson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Well, you got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing right, and that's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Geis, they'll try to run it. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go, I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. As his guys are in for 6. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On second down, here's Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Looking for his tight end, fouls, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. This will be caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right? And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And the hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 56 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the red zone now, Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, in first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right?
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And they will score. Pick 6 for the Texans TD. You have to figure with a rookie quarterback out there, you have to live with some of these mistakes, except they're going to happen. This one, though, that hurts. You're losing in this game.
And that's what you tell him. You know, that's what you drill on in practice. That's what you work on throughout time. Look, take care of the football, and then we'll let your talents come out. Don't try and force things, and then we end up with big plays like that end up hurting us.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking to throw. Jordan Reed has it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Detroit! Detroit!
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete here on third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Well, they try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's again to Miller. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in the halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run by.
And that's caught at the 25. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. On 1st and 10, Watson dumps it complete to Miller. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Reset. Hey, back 22. Back 22. Come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have broken the tie. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Back
to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. Third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. This quarterback now, 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
He'll
look to throw. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Going up top. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Steps away to his left. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run, and just lost track, and it cost him.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. And that is going to be incomplete. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, it's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. 11 yards on the pickup, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
But it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. And this is going to be incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start the drive here with an end around. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd is Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Down. Back 22.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try to get this running game going with Geis. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And now out comes Houston. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They'll run it again with Miller. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Richmond.
Miller. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but, boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Now it's Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Richmond.
Watson on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep over. This is caught inside the 15. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 42 yards. So 1st and goal. 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. From back at the 4, here's second and goal.
Richmond.
From the gun, here's Watson. Flushed out right. Touchdown, Texans.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now Watson going to sneak it. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. He's going to get it running right. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He's going to get it running right. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but they do keep him out of the end zone, and now it's 4th down. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's do it here. We'll do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, now look at 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
All right, now look at 56.
Now back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, That'll drive a team towards a victory.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Detroit! Detroit!
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 14. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Texans, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else in their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Washington, they suffered just their 2nd loss as they drop to 8-2 now on the year. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.